Welcome to the Celiac Diaries podcast. I'm your host, Lucia Cordero, and this is where we get real about life with celiac disease. Each week, I'll share practical gluten-free tips, wellness hacks, and honest conversations about the emotional side of living with an autoimmune condition. Think of this as your weekly mix of support, relatability, and inspiration to help you not just survive, but thrive with celiac. Before we dive in, just a quick reminder, I'm not a medical professional. Everything I share is based on my own experience living with celiac disease. This podcast is not medical advice, so please always consult your doctor about your own health. Welcome back to another episode of the Celiac Diaries podcast. I'm your host, Lucia Cordero, and we are here with Carlos Santos.
Hello, everybody.
The founder of Not Us Foods.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah, what a pleasure. Come on, I'm so excited to be on.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited you're here. We
Yes.
have, if you're watching on video, we have the empanadas in the house with us.
We had to. We can't just talk about the empanadas without them having them in the room, you know? So here we are.
Exactly, and they smell so good. I'm so excited to try it because
Yes.
I actually haven't tried them yet, but I know that Not Us is so well respected in the gluten-free celiac community. I have so many friends that are obsessed with you guys, so I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to try them. I know that we're going to try them as we go on. But we brought four of our flavors, which happen to be the four that, you know, we're launching into retail: the beef, the mango pork, which is the black one, the orange one's the black bean, and the green was the cheese and spinach. So excited for you to take a bite of each. Let me know what you think. Get the live review.
Yes, we will get to that in a second. I just want to give a little intro to everybody. So Not Us Foods is, as I said, extremely popular, naturally gluten-free empanada brand. And you guys have frozen versions of your products. And you're also in retail stores. And then you also have a seasonal restaurant experience in Manhattan at Smorgasburg, right?
Yes.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah. So we have been a brand we started in pandemic. So my mom had a restaurant of almost 17 years. And, you know, when everything closed here in New York, we started doing hospital meals.
Wow.
So
okay.
we ended up doing something close to by the end of the pandemic in between hospital meals and food for NYCHA housing. We ended up doing something like 200,000 meals in total. And
that's incredible.
Yeah, on one of those runs when we were going to the hospital, it was later. And so we noticed, you know how people used to go out and bang for the hospital, like the essential workers, they used to do the pots and pans.
Yeah.
I was driving down Second and it was 6 or 7 whenever they did it. And people came out on their windows and I realized, oh my gosh, there's still so many people in the city. Mm-hmm. So we started by doing this as hey, here's a Google link. Here are some flavors. I'm going to come to your house and do empanada care package because why not? What else are we doing?
Right. Yeah.
And to be a little different, we'd call people 5 minutes ahead of time. Hey, we're close to your apartment. Just come down and meet us on the street because, you know, we weren't doing stuff. So we'd have a little table with a little white linen and little flowers. And I used to be hey, since you can't come to our table, we're going to bring our table to you. And that's how Nada started, just as a little pandemic side project to keep our staff, staffed and to have stuff to do. So, now 5 years later, here we are.
Wow, that's incredible. And we'll get more into all of the details of everything. But your family are immigrants from Colombia, right?
Yes.
And your mom had a restaurant previously.
Yeah.
And now you're both focused on the empanada business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out aquí Santa Fe. My mom had that place for 17 years.
Okay. Wow.
So it was New York Times rated. It was the top restaurant on all the customer review platforms. Mm-hmm. So, grew up in the business. Didn't always want to be in the business.
Okay.
I went to school and I was I'm never going to work in restaurants or food. F that.
Wait, okay. I was stalking you on LinkedIn before this.
Yeah.
You were an athlete in college? What did you play?
I got to play a little bit of football.
Wow.
I played at school in Ohio. I was there for a couple of years. I will say I will never recommend Ohio as a state. But it was a cool experience, man.
Yeah.
Going out there, obviously, training. There's nothing else to do in Ohio, so I'd go there pre-seasons, train, do the season, do the thing. So it was fun.
Yeah. Well, when you're coming from New York, it's hard to go anywhere else, I'm sure.
Sure. And what's really actually quite interesting and cool is a lot of what we do now, I get to reference that time in Ohio. Because when you're far away from home, and mostly when you're far away from such a cultural place like New York, and you go to places like Ohio, you realize how little selection there is that's good. And so I'd go to a lot of supermarkets trying to find Hispanic foods. And the only thing I could find was Goya. And Goya isn't necessarily the best now. Shout out for what they've done to the community and building the Hispanics, sector. But it's all kind of overprocessed and it doesn't taste like home anymore. So now with what we're doing, when I get to talk to buyers or different people from the middle of America, because we're looking at a launch in Milwaukee, hopefully this year, in Wisconsin. Yeah. We just tell them, listen, there are plenty of kids and families like me that want a taste of home, and that's what we're trying to do.
Totally. And especially when you think about like the allergy-friendly options or gluten-free options, it becomes even less in those areas. Like I'm from Louisiana, and the difference in the gluten-free like options in Louisiana versus New York is so different. So.
I cannot. Where in Louisiana? Where in Louisiana are you from?
Shreveport. Have you heard of it?
I have not. Where is it in the...
It's northwest Louisiana. So it's closer to Dallas than New Orleans.
Okay.
That's what I tell people.
Yeah. You're more... Got it. Dang. Shout out Louisiana, man. What an interesting place.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. How long have you been in the city?
Just a couple years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you like it?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah. I came from Chicago, so I'm used to the city life.
Okay.
But I love New York. Yeah.
All right. Which one do you like more, Chicago or New York?
New York for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I like Chicago. Chicago's nice.
Yeah.
Chicago's cool. It reminds me
qualities.
of a big fight eye.
Okay, that's an interesting take.
Like the Brookfield, because the downtown in Chicago is all owned by Brookfield.
Oh, okay.
The Brookfield Mall here, it's the same designer. So when you go down the river and you take the turn to like the more financial area of Chicago, all of that is built by the same people. So it looks just like the Brookfield here.
I did not know that. So interesting.
Yeah, fun fact.
Wow, you never know what you'll learn on this podcast.
Really, come on, a little architecture. Why not?
All right, so we're going to get into all about Nadas, all about your journey starting it, being a gluten-free brand, and I'm so excited. But first up, we have our gluten-free fave of the week. Of course, this week is Nadas, and we have them in the house. So I'm so excited to try. Okay, which flavor should I try first?
I'm going to say if you want to try with like our latest addition to our menu overall, even in our storefront in Westchester, which we still have, and the storefront in the city when we had it, was the mango pork. So that one is a fan favorite. But if you want to do traditional, the beef. So I'd start with one of those two, and then you can kind of go from there. Do your journey from there. Which
one is the mango pork?
So the black one is the mango pork, and the red is the beef. Okay, guys, if you're watching on video, I'm trying now. This is so exciting. I like that crunch. You got a good little crunch on the mic. We're doing a little ASMR. And then, do you like hot sauce? Are you a spicy girl? A little, but I don't know if that's a good idea right now. Okay, because I was going to say, this guy, we make this one we're working on getting bottled, but we have it at our storefront in Westchester. I always say it's more for flavor than for murder. A sauce to your product assortment. Yeah, we will. Exciting. Yeah, we actually, interestingly enough, we've done the brick and mortar side, because part of how we started was we went from doing the table thing that I said to doing like pop-ups all over the city, and then doing making it fresh. Yeah, making them fresh. And like we used to go during pandemic, we used to go in front of a coffee shop called Terremoto in Chelsea, across the street from Google. And then a buddy of mine who his name is Bo, he is the head of beverage for a place called Opera House. It's under Chinese Tuxedo. Phenomenal. Honestly, amazing. He's probably the best bartender I know still to this day. He like made his little cocktails and like little pouches, and then we'd just start slinging. We'd go all over the city and do like empanadas and cocktails. Yeah, that's so fun. Sorry, I'm getting to the point where we did Bryant Park and Union Square Holiday Market. Oh, okay. And so we start doing a ton of that. Like we start doing this. Crazy empanadas are so popular in those holiday markets too. It's such a good thing to eat when you're walking around the city. And it's also fast, right? I think one of the things that you notice when you go to Bryant Park is like some of these concepts you actually have to wait a little bit. So when it's so packed, you don't just want to wait and have people walk by you. Totally. When we did Bryant Park, I think we were doing like 3 transactions a minute. Oh my goodness! So we're getting empanadas out every like 20 seconds and just getting a new order out. So wow. About the assortment line, we've done so many flavors and we have so many different parts of the business that we've gotten to kind of trial and test, that even though we're just entering retail, we already have a whole product pipeline that we are ready to offer retailers, right? We're starting with these 4 flavors, but like we have the guava and cheese. We have, a chicken that obviously isn't here. We have a lot of stuff to offer. So, and the sauce is one of them because people love the sauce. That's what started this whole conversation, a little thing of sauce.
Yeah. And I do have to say, this is delicious.
Yeah.
I love it.
Come on.
I was looking at y'all's nutritional facts. Also, most of them have like 20 to 30 grams of protein per serving.
Yeah.
That's like so amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. In a protein heavy world that we live in now, because protein's everywhere. I always like to say, listen, and God bless everybody that does the functional, better for you, like high, like a David bar or this or whatever is installing protein into everything.
Right. But this is natural.
Yeah. I just like to say, like, listen, we're just making the best empanada. And it just happens to be like high in protein, high in fiber, like
gluten-free, all the things, yeah.
I mean, the beef and the black bean, so 2 at the end, are top 9 allergen-free.
Wow. Okay.
So no nuts, no tree nuts, no peanuts, no sesame, no soy, no fish, no crustacean. I now know these things, which shout out to the gluten-free community, because the one thing that I realized was a lot of celiacs also have other dietary restrictions.
Right, yeah.
So like we haven't just gotten to be a safe haven for celiacs, which obviously I know we'll talk about more, but we get to be a safe haven for other dietary restrictions as well. Yeah. Which has been really fun, because we're just if you go on the street of Colombia, like you can find empanadas, right? Obviously, I think ours are the best. Of course. But it's really cool to just get to offer that in total. And then even these two, the cheese and spinach obviously has dairy, so. And then the mango pork has a little bit of color fishing just to get the color, because we don't use any fake colors.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was going to ask about that, because I saw that too. You don't use artificial colors or dyes.
No, nothing.
So what is the natural color that it comes from? Okay, wow, okay.
Vegetables. Even with the black one, we use a little bit of a roasted vegetable to mix with the color fishing. That way we don't have to use a lot for it. Okay, but to accomplish the super black color, we have to use some kind of ink that's natural. Okay. Yeah, but all the colors are vegetable based. Okay. So we make all these dyes.
Okay, so what is the empanada actually made of? So it's made of corn, so then you mix the vegetable.
Yeah, we have a very interesting process, because we grind our own corn.
Oh wow! Okay.
So we go from kernel to the meal, and so when we grind it, that's when we mix the color, so it really absorbs well. And it's quite a process, but
I'm sure, yeah.
We think it's worth it, and I mean, we could have chosen to have them all be the same color. Right. And I don't think that's as fun. It's not as appetizing, to the eye. But when you have, at the storefronts, we have, I think, 12 different flavors. That's a lot. Yeah, if you order 4 different or 6 different flavors, and I'm like, hey, here they are, and you just got to guess, that doesn't necessarily help, right? So we didn't want to do a thing where you have to stamp them or anything. I was like, let's just make them colorful. I think it looks good in the frozen section. It looks good in stadiums, or, when we do a ton of catering in the city to a bunch of corporate buildings, and they're like, oh, they're so beautiful. And so it's fun.
I love that. Well, I think one, it obviously tastes good, but I mean, I'm a Gen Z gal working in marketing, so I care a lot about the packaging and how it looks and the aesthetic, and it checks that box too.
I too am a Gen Z girl in marketing.
But I love the branding and how colorful it is.
Thank you.
I think that makes such a difference.
Nice. No, yeah, it really. I just wanted listen. Phones eat first. We're just in that culture.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, even just letting people when they go. I don't know. I think I'm very visual, and being able to give the color, and even in the frozen section where everything is kind of the same. The brands that you see that are winning are ones that have the rainbow effect, that are really appeasing, because it's not like other parts of the supermarket where everything's out and people walk through and stop and look. They don't have that experience as much in the frozen section, so we try to really make it like that for them. Yeah,
it gets people's attention.
Yeah.
And that leads us into our news of the week, because the popular Natas empanadas are now available in the frozen section at Pop-Up Grocer in West Village.
Yes, shout out Pop-Up Grocer. Come on.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, that's so exciting.
They've been awesome. We have we're launching into, I think, close to 200 retailers by the end of February.
That's a ton. Wow.
Yeah.
Is it a lot of more kind of like boutique, like when you think of like a pop-up grocer?
Yeah, they'll be mostly independents. So they're not like the big chain ones. Yeah. But we do have some big chains coming up.
Okay, that's exciting too.
Yeah. We have some cool chains coming up. And some online retailers like Fresh Direct and stuff that we're going to be in as well. So we're really excited about that. I think this year we'll go from like 0 stores to close to like 1,000. Wow. Which is it's a big ramp up.
That really is. Wow.
Yeah. But we're really excited. I mean, we've kind of prepped ourselves for this moment. Like I said, we've done food service in the past and we're in a couple stadiums, so we kind of know what it's like to have to produce, 200,000 empanadas in a month. So we're really excited for the challenge that it's going to be to, not just do these small retailers, which we love. Like we're launching in 2 other ones on Saturday called Food Garden in Brooklyn. Awesome guys, smaller. It's a family owned, 2 supermarkets. One I think in Boerum Hill and one in I think Prospect Heights. Really cool people, and like we're launching there. And more
in New York, I feel like those are the best places to launch because those places have cult followings.
And, and people like it.
It's fun.
And they're like the neighborhood places. Obviously we'll be in the Whole Foods and we'll be in all those stores sometime soon. But it's also cool because like we get to go into those stores, and the cool part is because they're family owned. Like I'm texting this guy and I'm like, hey, like let me know when you want me to come demo. Because for me, like I love going to stores and being like, hey, try the product. Because I've never once been like, hey, try it. And people won't be like, where is this? Where can I buy it? Right. Exactly. So for us, it's just being able to create a following, hear some feedback, and try to grow this as best as we can. Because I want to include as many people in the Nadas table, in the Nadas familia.
Yeah, that's so fun. So is that kind of what inspired wanting to expand in retail with the frozen products specifically versus focusing on, having a more permanent like restaurant type location?
I think what made us really want to do retail is how many DMs we got from like random people in like Wisconsin and Idaho and California, and obviously California is not as random, but just like random states. And because these are frozen, we have to ship with dry ice, which can be a pain.
That's a whole process. Yeah.
So we only ship, what do I say? We ship north of Maryland and east of Ohio. Okay. So really that little like northeastern sector, that's where we really ship, and we do quite a bit of direct to consumer in this area. But I think it was just because we're so accessible to celiacs, to other people that have dietary restrictions, there's some people that have never had an empanada. Like the amount of times I've heard or I've gotten an email being like, I've never had an empanada before, which to me that's like a crazy concept. Right? Growing up with them, I'm like, whoa. But hearing that, I'm like, okay, great. Let's get you these empanadas. Yeah. And when you have to ship on dry ice, that can be, like, the economics of that can be hard. Mostly if, like, let's say the person doesn't know that they get there and then they sit out there for an extra day. Then they thaw out. They're no good. And so for us, it was okay. Yeah. If I want as many people to eat these as possible, which is really the goal, we've got to do it through maybe more traditional retail where it's temperature controlled throughout the whole process. Right. And so that's kind of what motivated it. And like for us, we want to build something that is worth it. I think if I spend another 3 years building this, I was actually having this conversation today with this young kid who came not as for some like advice or whatever. And I told him I could have lived my same lifestyle great out of our storefront in the West Village, right? I was fine. Things were fine. And I could have been there for 3 years and been the same. Maybe we open another storefront. Maybe we don't. Who knows? But with this, I think the ability to scale is a lot more sustainable because everything is calculated, right? We know exactly how much potato, how much, like we have everything down to science. Right. And so being able to just replicate that and scale that is easier when it's just all production. And then you have some distribution things but those things aren't as hard as just nailing down one thing that you do over and over and over and over again. Totally. And that's kind of what we want to do with Nadas. Obviously, we'll go with whatever opportunity. Like we're looking at airports, we're looking to different things. Fun. Okay. But like for us, it's like how can we build a brand that means something to people, and that we're proud of, and that gets to share our culture as far and vast and wide as we can. Yeah. So that's kind of awesome. It. Yeah.
I'm curious your perspective on this because I know a lot of brands that have like a big focus on like clean ingredients and those processes. as they scale, sometimes it might be more challenging to keep up with that, with like the level of production that you need to produce.
To get there, yeah.
So how have you guys been thinking about that?
Yeah, I think we've been thinking about it really in two ways. The first is really based on how long we can control production, right? The economies of scale sort of help us see a future in which we hold production for as long as I am in charge of the company, right? And so that's kind of the way that we want to do it. Obviously, we'll see how attainable that is, right? It takes quite a bit of capital to be able to do that, and we've been able to do that so far. And I really relish the challenge to be able to do that as we scale forward. The other one is just finding good partners, right? Finding good co-mans across the country, which is hard. It can be to do that, but I think for us, I would rather build a brand that's true to what we've been doing and make less personally, right? Than build something that people love and then they stop loving.
Right.
Right.
Because like, you see that so often these days.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I look at brands like Siete, for example, right? They did an amazing job in the chip section. And when we talk to a lot of investors, I'm like, listen, I'm not going to promise you that we're going to sell for $1.5 billion of PepsiCo. That's not what I'm going to say. But they had a playbook. They followed it in the chip section. We want to do the same thing in the frozen section. And obviously, we have a lot of growth to do until we can claim those, even close to those things or velocities. But I think that there's a very sleepy, kind of dormant section in the frozen section that we're working on right now. And there are a lot of people that want options that are good for their kids. So we're talking about like a clean label, right? There's no gimmicks. There's no fake. I'm not trying to get to a fiber point by adding something random. Easy to make and that everybody can eat. So we hope that we can continue doing that. But I hope we can. My goal is that we can find the right partners, whether that's on the financial side or whether that's on the manufacturing side. They'll let us still keep control of what we do and how we do it.
Totally. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I think that's very admirable. I also used to work specifically in advertising within the frozen section of the grocery store.
Nice. So you know a little bit about it.
I totally see where that gap is in terms of some good quality, especially gluten-free frozen products.
Yeah. And like what's interesting is I'm not gluten-free. I'm not celiac, like we were talking about. But I love the moments where people come in and there's almost like a relief that they feel knowing that they're safe eating in our establishment.
Right, totally.
Right?
Well, it is so freeing when you walk into a place as someone that always has to look at the menu and you just know everything is 100% gluten-free.
Yeah. I think that those moments have been like like when we have those customers that come in. There was a gentleman that came yesterday with his daughter into the Westchester spot and he was like, she's celiac, I'm not. But I'm just happy that your food has meat and like real things. And I was like, I don't think about that. But I'm like, I'm happy for you too, right? Because I guess we get to offer sort of like these aren't specifically gluten-free, right? But they I didn't make these to be gluten-free, but they are. And so I feel like the celiac community for a long time has gotten a second-rate product that's gluten-free. Exactly. Rather than just getting the best product that also happens to be gluten-free.
Exactly, right.
And that's my biggest joy when I talk to anybody at celiac. I'm like, listen, let me blow your mind. Not just because it's gluten-free, but I genuinely think as a Colombian that's eaten empanadas his whole life, that these are just also the best empanadas, period.
Right.
So you get the full experience of having something that's great, that's amazing, and that you can partake in.
Exactly. I love that. It's not the substitute version of anything. It's just the real authentic version, and this is what tastes good.
True.
It happens to be safe for everyone with celiac. I love that.
Yeah, we're not new to this. We're true to this. Come on.
Yes.
That's my favorite saying. These past 3 days, I said that earlier to you, and I was like, man, what a line. Whoever came up to that, come on.
No, that's a good one. So, okay, take me back to like the beginning of Nadas when you're creating the empanadas, because I've had some empanadas. Obviously, I've had other empanadas in my life. Sure. But I also have been to other like empanada locations, whether in the city or wherever, and they are not gluten-free. So what was kind of like, whenever you were creating this, what exactly are the ingredients that you chose? And at the time, were you just like, this is the best ingredient? You weren't even thinking about it being gluten-free? And then when did you start to get feedback from the gluten-free community about it?
Yeah, I think we got to go back to kind of the hierarchy of the empanada, right? There are two kinds of empanadas.
Okay.
There's the very like Argentine, Chilean, Uruguayan empanada made with wheat.
Okay.
Right, the one that you see that has like the ends that are folded,
right?
And they're like a little golden, and
like the emoji.
Yes, exactly. Also, Apple needs to step up and give us a non-Argentine empanada. The empanada bias needs to stop. No, I'm just kidding. And then there's like the Colombian, Ecuadorian, Venezuelan, Panamanian empanada, which is corn based, and so those don't have the ridges. Those are just kind of made our style, and so those are the main two South American empanadas.
Okay.
Right,
gotcha.
and I think for us being Colombian, like I never thought about making Argentine empanadas because I think those are kind of weird. They use like little olives inside theirs. I'm not a big olive guy, so I'm like, but that's a whole different discussion in between Argentines and Colombians and the hierarchy of just South America.
Yeah.
And how we roll. But yeah, so there are two main kinds of empanadas. The ones that most gluten-free people can eat, which are the wheat-based ones that are from that part of the like the more southern, southwestern area. Okay. And then the Colombian, Venezuelan, Ecuadorian ones.
Okay.
And so obviously, we just went that way because that's where I was born. I think ours are just better, period. Like I don't not enjoy an Argentine empanada. I think they're good. But I think ours are by far better. And I think that, you know, it just all goes back to everybody can eat these. Right. Yeah. So you can share these with as many people as you want. And I think that's what Colombian culture is like. We want everybody to have a good time. You know, I think that if you ever go to Colombia, you ever know any Colombians, we're very much the more the merrier. The bigger the party, the funner it's going to be kind of people. And so I think that we even use our food for the vehicle of that. And so getting to do that and getting to that through these is a vibe. But I think we started to really market them more as gluten-free when I noticed. So I worked in the city in finance, and then I bartended here for a bit. And then I noticed when I went back to Westchester to go to my mom's restaurant, how many people that were celiac would come, and they'd be like, oh, we're so happy because everything's gluten-free. Yeah, and we started hearing that enough that I was like, oh, like there's like a whole market of people that like come here just because they can eat safely. You know, like not even because, and the food was great. But I was like, wow, there is a good amount of people that just come here because they can eat safely. Right. So once we started getting enough people saying the gluten-free thing, I was like, okay, we need to really let people know that we are gluten-free.
Yeah. That's so smart because, and I've talked about this on the podcast with other gluten-free creators, is that we find these restaurants or spots that are gluten-free, but there's nothing on their website that mentions it at all. And, you know, it's great that they have the options, but it's like, it just makes it so much more accessible and able for people to try if you actually market it. So that's awesome that you listen to that and then put that out there so people are able to know. Yeah, no, it was really good. It's been interesting now that we're doing the retail kind of CPG side because we're also learning that what we were talking about earlier, there's this fine line in between the everyday consumer and like we have three pillars of consumers. We have the family maker, so whether that's mom or dad, you know, trying to get snacks for their kids, healthy snacks, something quick, right? Those are our number one customers. Our secondary pillar is the dietary, accessible kind of customers, whether that's celiac, whether that's, you know, nut-free, whatever. Number two. And then number three is like second generation Hispanics. So people that know what their family's cooking feels like, they want that. They can't find that in the supermarket. But in that middle one, specifically with the gluten-free claims that we have, we were like super huge on them before. And then we realized that there's a stigma around gluten-free food, which sucks. Because that there's not going to be meat in it or protein
and they think that it like sucks. Right. They're like gluten-free food. So we've had to find the fine balance of being like, hi, gluten-free buds. You guys can eat it safely. I promise you're safe. Right. We'll hold you in our arms. Like, don't you worry. But then also letting everyday consumers know, wait, I'm freaking Colombian. Like these are the best empanadas. Right. So that's where we came with the tagline, like we're the best empanadas that everyone can eat. Yeah. Because we want to let everybody know you're not going to get empanadas better than us anywhere. Like totally number one claim. And then after that everyone can eat, because we also want, if you have an allergy, we want you to know,
right?
Hush, little baby, don't you cry. You are safe with us. So it's been interesting in like the way that we marketed in our storefront, and we're like so big about gluten-free.
Yeah. Because
even when we were in the West Village, we'd hear a lot, oh, well, we didn't know that these would be good because they say gluten-free. And that was really sucky, because I was like, man, like celiacs have it bad, bro. What are we doing? So we kind of changed the messaging to be very like, we're the best.
Right. Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are, you can eat them.
And we've had makes sense. Yeah.
We've had to kind of find that fine line where, like, I love our celiac community, man. Like, I love them. They're great. We were talking about like Lex and Matt and like so many different creators that I've gotten to meet, and so many amazing people that have come to Nadas, and I love them, and I want them to know we're going to stick faithful to them. Like, one of the main questions that we got when we launched the pop-up, we were getting DMs being like, are they still gluten-free? And we'd be like, yeah, 100%. So we want to make sure that people are safe. But we also, just want people to know that they're the best. Period.
Totally. That makes so much sense. I never thought about it from that perspective, because I just have to eat gluten-free. So whenever I see that, I'm not like, oh, that's going to be bad, because I'm like, oh, well,
it's what I can
that's
eat.
not what I think about. Yeah. But I totally get that, because a lot of gluten-free products do have that bad reputation of being like the worst version of something.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so we've had to not fight that stigma, but, kind of try to let people know.
Make it clear that, hey, this is just naturally gluten-free and it
we're
tastes
the best,
delicious.
period. Come on, everybody.
Exactly.
And now when we talk about it more, I always tell people, like, we all have that friend. Whether they can't have dairy, or they have an allergy to nuts, or they can't eat this or that. I'm like, if all your friends can eat Nadas. It doesn't matter who they are. There's an option for any of your friends, unless they just have bad taste in food. Then, like, I can't help them there. But so we try to make that super clear to the people.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's so inspiring, because I do think a lot of gluten-free brands out there, whether it's naturally gluten-free or made to be gluten-free, comes from like a founder that has that background of being gluten-free or celiac. And I know you kind of fell into this with like the gluten-free people coming to you and being like, these are great. But what like inspires you to continue, like making these products to be like celiac-safe and allergen friendly?
Yeah, I've told this story maybe once or twice. We had, when we were at the West Village storefront, there was this young lady who, there around the corner from that Nadas, there was a Mount Sinai hospital, and she would come once a month because she had like very terrible like health issues, and one of them had to do very heavily with her diet and what she could or couldn't eat, and the allergens that she had. And she would come in once a month, like all bandaged up, and like, I'm not like, she was going through it.
Yeah.
And she would come in and she would say, the only thing that makes me happy on the worst day of my month when I have to come to this hospital is knowing that I can eat something safely and enjoy it. And I think that I'm just a person that, like, we used to have this on some of our old packaging, but we're just people that love people, right? And we just happen to have the vehicle to do that through food. And so if we can give somebody the best experience that they've never had before, or that they've been restricted from having in the past, then we're going to continue doing it, right? I'm a guy that wants people to flourish and enjoy. And if we can bring joy to people's lives through these products, then like that's what we're going to continue doing, right? Outside of the fact that like obviously they were naturally into that, and we get to do that. We have made some really conscious decisions about what we will and will not have in our kitchen, on our menus, other very Colombian things, specifically because I want to guarantee to everybody that walks in there that there's not any level or trace of weed or anything in there that could put any detriment to us not being able to fulfill even the most severe celiac's desire for empanadas or whatever else we have at the storefront. So that's kind of where it comes from. Yeah, I want people to be happy, and we get to make people happy through these empanadas. So that's why I have a little smile. I don't know if people can see it. They probably can't, but there's a little smile in our little empanadas. So we're trying to make people happy. That's it.
I love that. That's so beautiful. And I know that the whole celiac community really appreciates it and has so much trust in you guys. So that's awesome.
Well, we trust them. We trust them. We love them too. They're the best.
So take us behind the scenes. I know you have, 12 different flavors at your storefront?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. So what is the process? Well, one, what was your OG flavor? And what is the process that you go through when you're introducing a new flavor to the menu?
Our OG were the beef and the chicken. I think we started with five flavors maybe at the original restaurant. Beef, chicken. We just had just a straight cheese. Mm-hmm. I want to say that we had the cheese and spinach and we had one more. Or maybe we started with those four. And then as we've kind of grown, we came up with some that were flavors that were great memories for me. Like our blueberry goat cheese comes from a dish that my mom used to make at the restaurant where she made a blueberry sauce for filet mignon. And so we kind of incorporated that into an empanada.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
It was banging.
I love goat cheese.
The mango pork, because we wanted something that was pork based. We wanted something that was a little sweet, a little salty. So that one came in. Mm-hmm. The vegan ones, we introduced to the menu the black bean, the vegan beef, and the vegan chorizo, all because like we want to just be more inclusive, right? And I think that I always want to do something with sweet potato, so we made sweet potato and the vegan chorizo. And then there's a dish in Puerto Rico called mofongo, which is plantains. They're fried, they're smashed, and then they usually put like some level of steak or something inside them. So we kind of made a version of that inside an empanada with the vegan beef, trying to emulate sort of those Puerto Rican flavors. So anytime that we put anything on the menu, whether it's seasonal or whether it's a collaboration, we try to stay really close to Hispanic roots. I try to like maybe we'll do like a limited run one day where we'll do like a cheeseburger empanada for a brand, but I don't slight anybody for what they do when they really leave base from what empanadas are. So like they do like a chicken teriyaki or like a hamburger or a hot, like I will never judge anybody for doing that, but we want to stay culturally Colombian.
Yeah.
Right? Like on the back of the bag, it says, si no es nada, no es lo nuestro, which means if it's not nadas, it's not our own. And we have kind of a pledge of wanting it to keep it still very specifically Latino, very specifically Hispanic.
Yeah.
I'm a kid that was born in Colombia, that lived the immigrant life, that has eaten Hispanic food his whole life. And so we want to make sure that those flavors are the ones that people are getting. Right?
Yeah,
like you're never going to see like a chicken parm dumpling from me or something that like really leaves the culture.
Right. It sounds like there's so much of that in America. So I feel like it's so beautiful to stay authentic to what you want to make.
Yeah. And for us, I think like we are an immigrant brand. And we don't take that lightly. I think that in the times that we live, you don't need to always know what your brands support or what they don't support or where they stand. But I think that as we enter more markets, I want people to understand that immigrants do make this country better, right? That we get to be part of a beautiful, eclectic melting pot of flavors and of experiences. And so for us, making sure that that's at the forefront is really important. So I think that's kind of why we do that part.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so I have a question for you in terms of advice for other founders if they're listening to this and they want to make celiac-safe or allergen-safe products. What advice would you give to someone that wants to start a brand like that?
Dang, that's a good one. Specifically, I'll give you a broader answer and I'll give you a more like micro and macro. Okay. Macro, make sure that you try your product a lot. And make sure that you listen to feedback. And if you are going to enter a more commercialized line of work, make sure you understand your numbers. Whether that's you pay an accountant or whether you are really good with numbers, figure those out. Because it doesn't matter where you are with anything. If you don't understand your numbers, you're never really going to be able to break that ceiling. Always ask for advice from people that are doing it. I promise you, like mid-sized level, small to mid-sized level entrepreneurs, we know what it's like to not have those resources. And so a lot of us will be very willing to chat. And then more specifically into like the celiac or dietary friendly and inclusive products, man, I'd say just do your research. Like go to shows, see what people are making, see how they're making it, and see if you can make it any better. That's what I would say. Like we do a lot of celiac shows, like a lot of like gluten-free, like Wicked Gluten-Free.
Like expo type things.
And expo type things where it's all gluten-free specific. And we've gotten to see a lot of amazing vendors and a lot of amazing bakeries and a lot of amazing ice creams and all that. And so I just go out there and see what's on the market already and try it and see if you can do it equally as good or better. I'm talking about across the board, from your branding to your marketing to your socials or whatever that looks like. Because I think in this day and age where CPG retail has started to become a lot more just a lot more accessible almost and a lot more competitive. You just want to know what's out there and what you're competing against. Because everybody or people that know how to cook well will always think that their cooking can make it on a larger scale maybe, but they don't even know what's behind the door.
Right.
So I'd say open the door, see what's behind there, figure out if it's really what you want to do and worth your time, and then go for it. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of founders and anybody that wants to do anything, we see it kind of as a door. And then we're already thinking what's behind the door, right? Like we're already having anxiety about what's behind the door. We haven't even knocked on the door. So like knock on the door, see if it opens. And once it opens, then you'll really know what you got to deal with.
Yeah.
And then that's a thing that you can solve. But you can't solve the thing that you can't see, right? So like figure it out, do your thing. And I think that's really kind of it. I hope that's good advice.
Yeah, totally.
Gang,
no.
come on.
I mean, I'm not a founder, so,
I'm
but
like,
it sounds great to me.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
if I was
here.
thinking about it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So I'm curious, you're expanding so much into retailers this year. I know y'all are very active on social media. You have all the branding, the colorful rainbow vibe going on over there too, which I love.
Yeah.
I'm just curious as someone in marketing, what is your marketing strategy for 2026 given that expansion?
Yeah, I think that we've really honed in on what values we really care about and what things we really want to harp on. I think it took me these past couple of years to figure out exactly how I would talk to or how I would brand Nadas. When you start filling out enough forms and sheets for accelerators and supermarkets and distributors where they ask you how to describe your brand in one sentence, you kind of figure out what that is. And so for us, it really was, hey, we're bringing the best empanadas that everyone can eat to the frozen section. And I think everything kind of stems from there. As we grow into more retailers, man, I just hope that we can partner with some good UCG people, really get the word out. But I think that's kind of it. The core thing is the two things that I kind of have probably said multiple times now, which is, the best empanada thing and then the Hispanic aspect. I think those are really the two things we want to harp on. We want to create community. And I think that's really strong what we want to do. We're going to do some cool pop-ups across the country. So we're doing one in Denver, and we're doing one in Philly, and we'll be doing one in Chicago, and we'll be going up to Rhode Island and down to Florida, and we might even go to California this year. So it's really just starting to create a community around what we believe Nadas is, which is the best, I guess. No, but really, we really do believe that we want to connect with obviously every kind of founder and do all the things, but really on those two pillars.
Yeah, and I can't wait to try the other flavors. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned you might be in the works with creating hot sauce from Nadas. Would you ever expand to any other food products beyond empanadas? Yeah,
I mean, listen, we have a cool pipeline. I think all the things that we make already currently in our Westchester storefront, so the empanadas, arepas, tostones, maduros, which are both plantain products, yuca, all the things that I grew up kind of eating, we'll start kind of working on as we get into more retailers, have the opportunity to do some more crossover stuff.
Okay, so those are available in Westchester.
Gotcha. So those are all available in Westchester. And then the sauces. People love that sauce. We're working on getting it, shelf stable and all this stuff. So I think we'll expand into a little bit right now. We just want to build a good reputation with the empanadas. And then
one thing at a time.
And then once we build a good reputation with that, we'll kind of see how retailers respond to new products that we have. I think it's all a relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And so if they see us doing well in one area of the grocery center market that maybe a lot of people don't do well in, hopefully they trust us with other areas.
Exactly. Yeah. Build that brand recognition across America.
Yeah, man.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're working on Northeast first. Cool. We'll see.
Right. Yeah.
No, we are excited though. I think that this year will be a fun year. You know, what's so interesting about CPG is how quickly it's become a moneymaker for people. If you have gotten into this world, you'll realize how quickly money's starting to flood it. And so we hope, we hope we can raise some capital and do what we got to do and get it in as many doors as possible.
Yeah, so exciting. Well, I'm a fan, and I can't wait to see everywhere you guys go. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, this was such a fun conversation. I have some rapid fire questions to end.
Okay, let's ride.
Okay, what is your favorite Nadas empanada flavor?
Ooh, it's in between the mango, pork, or the cheese and guava right now.
Okay. One flavor that surprised you with how popular it became?
I was a little hesitant when we first started coming up with the mango pork.
Okay.
I was a little hesitant, and it has become one, I think, like the top seller that we have.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm also surprised with how polarizing the guava and cheese is. People either absolutely love it or they're like, F this thing, man.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's how you know you made something that's like bold and strong.
Yeah. Well,
people have to have opinions.
In Colombia, guava and cheese is a big blend. I don't even like guava and cheese cold, which is how Colombians typically eat it. But the empanada I crush.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess this might be one of the sauces that you brought, but what's the best dipping sauce with an empanada?
Oof. I'd say the hot sauce. I'm a hot sauce purist. Okay. We also have a cilantro lime crema. For people that don't like hot sauce, I've started mixing the two of them and using that as dipping sauce. So boom.
And you'll make the hot sauce as well.
Yeah, we make. Okay. I'll tell you this: everything that you have at Nadas, we make ourselves. There's not a single item that we do not make in our kitchen. So. Yeah.
Amazing. All right, most underrated ingredient in empanadas.
Most underrated ingredient. I'm gonna say scallions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I wouldn't think about that.
Yeah, people don't know, but most of our empanadas have scallions. So I'm going to say the underrated is a scallion. Let's ride.
Okay. All right. Outside of empanadas, what's one Colombian food that you think everyone should try?
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, I'm a big arepa guy, and I know a lot of people have tried arepa, so I'm going to try to think of something out of the box.
Okay.
I think everybody should try something Colombian. There's a soup called ajiaco. Okay. Very traditional from Bogota.
Okay.
It's almost like a blend of 3 potatoes in chicken stock. Okay. And then they put like pulled chicken, corn, potato, yuca all inside. I think that people should try that or sancocho. Like a Colombian sancocho, not a Puerto Rican or a Dominican or no. Go to a Colombian spot or call me up and try some sancocho.
Yeah. Okay.
Also a soup.
Love that.
Big soup right now. I'm a big soup guy.
Okay. Yeah. We got a lot of things to try.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. What are you most excited for about Nadas in 2026?
Man, I am excited. I'm excited for the launches we got coming up. I'm excited to travel a little bit. Like I said, we'll be in Denver and Chicago and Orlando and all these places. I'm excited to just continue putting them in front of people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, I think obviously we're doing this so we can raise some capital and so we can get them everywhere. But I think the most important thing for me is people's reactions when they try them. Right? Like we're not the old empanadas that you used to get at the bodega or like the empanada that you know from X, Y, or Z. It's just cool to see how much people enjoy these. So I'm excited to go and do all the demos and travel, and if anybody has some money out there that they want to give us, holler at me. Find me on LinkedIn. No, I'm kidding. But no, yes, truly, that's what I'm excited about. Just the traveling part and getting to continue feeding people. And the World Cup. We'll be in some stadiums for the World Cup. So we're excited for that as well. We're excited for the World Cup season. That should be fun.
Yeah, perfect stadium food, I think, too.
Yeah. That was our first entry. We did stadiums, and then we kind of started doing CPG. But we still are trying to get into more office buildings, trying to get into any door that will have us. Let me in. You know, that's it. Yeah.
Well, I would love Nadas in my office building. That would be great.
You got to tell them.
All right. So where can everyone find Nadas online or try it for themselves?
Yes. In the city? Like I said, if you are north of Maryland, east of Ohio, order online at eatnadas.com. If you order by Monday, they'll be there by the end of the week, usually Wednesday. And then in the city, pop-up grocer in West Village, 6th and Bleecker, find them there. And then also at Food Garden. And those are the only ones that I can say right now because
more to come.
A lot
more to come.
Yeah. Like a ton more to come. But those three places for now.
And where can everyone follow on Instagram or
at
TikTok?
Eat Nadas.
Okay.
For both.
Okay.
Yeah, we're Eat Nadas at TikTok and Eat Nadas on Instagram.
And I'm sure updates on the future retailers will be
updates.
there.
Listen, I'll be pounding the pavement. I'll be shooting every video that ever exists.
I love it.
Yeah. You'll know exactly where we are for sure.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. This was such a fun conversation.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me.
So great to finally try the famous empanadas and to learn more about the background of everything. It's
thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Come on.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys. I will catch you here next Wednesday for another episode. Don't forget to rate the show, leave us a 5-star review, send this episode to a celiac or gluten-free friend. And thanks for listening. Bye. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Celiac Diaries podcast. I hope you're leaving with a tip, a story, or just a little inspiration to live your best life with celiac. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow the show, share it with a friend, or leave a review. I'll see you back here next Wednesday. And until then, stay well.